This is in no disrespect to Remembrance Day at all.
Now I am here, and I am here proudly honouring our martyrs.
Well, I'm here in Birmingham. It's Remembrance Sunday. This is not really how I typically spend my Remembrance Sundays. In fact, this is the first time I've ever been to Birmingham. It's very, very quiet. There's not very many people here. I guess I'm not in the centre yet, but it's crazy because this is England's second city, right, after London. It's a very diverse city. I can't remember the exact statistics in terms of ethnicities and stuff like that, but I think it's one of the most diverse cities in England. And despite today being Remembrance Sunday, there is a pro-Palestine rally that's happening here in Birmingham. So it's not too far from where I live, which is interesting. Now I say that, this is the first time I've ever been to Birmingham, but it's true. But I thought we'd go check it out and see what's happening.
We are remembering our fallen martyrs. We are remembering the innocent victims in Palestine. So come and join us today here in the city centre. Visit the schools, and the demonstration will take place very soon. From Palestinians, innocent children, innocent men and women have been suffering.
So if I'm going to be completely honest, there's about 8 people at the protest. There's probably more microphones than people. It's really strange. Maybe there's enough sensible people to realise that perhaps a protest on Remembrance Sunday is not the best idea. But look, there's just 2 police vans and really not very many people here. Fascinating. I mean, I'll watch it for a little bit, but I'm not sure it's going to get any more interesting than this. It's like 10 guys. So if you could just tell me what the second flag is that you're holding there.
Yeah, sure.
You can hold that.
Yes, I'm here at this Palestine demonstration. We've got this double-sided flag because obviously Cuba also suffers at the hands of the US, through the blockade that's been going on for 60 plus years. There are massive power cuts in Cuba now that are days long. And they've always stood with Palestine as well, recognising that sister struggle, that common cause. They provide free medical education to people from Palestine. They've sent doctors and troops in the past. And it kind of represents an example of a society we can live in that's not driven by profit and warfare. That's why I brought that along today.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, because that's so small, I just thought I would have a little wander through Birmingham and see what's here. So I've never been to Birmingham before, as I mentioned, and I don't know if I'll ever come back. So I may as well have a look. And there's a beautiful church here. So I thought I'd go and take a look at this.
Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Allahu
Akbar. Names of the children killed. Each one of them is the names of children from 0 to 16, 18 that are being killed by the terror state of Israel.
This goes against the humanitarian principle, and for us guys here in the city centre, we are making a final statement to say that we are not complicit. We are not complicit against the genocide. When I say free, you say Palestine as loud as you can. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Just to reiterate, this is in no disrespect to Remembrance Day at all.
In fact,
This is a credit to Remembrance Day because we are also remembering the people who have suffered through war. And just like how they use the same slogan and say never again, we say never again for all, for everybody. We wish for everybody to live in peace. This is much, much more than just being on the battlefield. The resistance is saying that we are not here doing what the EPL are doing and causing trouble on social media.
Okay, so quite a few more people have come along now. Hopefully you can hear me on the microphone all right. I would say maybe there's like 60 or 70 people here now. We'll go and take a look. But it's better than the 8 that there were to start with, that's for sure.
Barclays funded over millions of pounds into Elbit systems.
When we are here for Remembrance Day, let us remember every single life lost, including around 12,000 Palestinians who gave their life. So I stand here today, unapologetically, standing, honouring our martyrs, the innocents that have been killed, and in Palestine, over 70% are women and children. We will honour all the martyrs, those that have fought for freedom to the last drop of blood. Now I am here, and I am here proudly honouring our martyrs, and they deserve that remembrance. Each one of them lives was someone's entire world. All the innocent victims, every child, every baby, every mother, every father. Let's honour our martyrs.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Unbelievable PSA! Palestine moving free! Unbelievable PSA! Palestine moving free! Unbelievable PSA! War, war, war! The occupation has been done! War, war, war! The occupation has been done!
Flaming homeless.
We will honour all our martyrs. All the parents, mothers, fathers. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to remind everyone that this is a peaceful demonstration. We are not the people who like to retaliate. We are not going to be provoked. We are here for one mission, and that is to call for a free Palestine. So please do not be distracted from our mission.
Okay, it seems like it's a pretty small demonstration, and obviously it's Remembrance Sunday, so it doesn't sit very well with me. Now, they would obviously say it's Remembrance Sunday and they're remembering the war dead in Gaza and Palestine generally, but it's not really like that, is it? Because they're being very selective. They wouldn't remember the war dead who are Israeli soldiers, right? So it's not just trying to expand Remembrance Sunday into all wars in the world out of, wars that we have been involved in as Britain. It's more about specifically hijacking it for one cause, which I don't agree with. The reason I'm not wearing a poppy today is because the Royal British Legion effectively hijacked the poppy themselves and started putting political logos on it, which I don't really have any time for. So, every year of my entire life I've worn a poppy, but this year I didn't. There you go. One thing that I did think was a bit strange was she mentioned that there were 12,000 Palestinians who'd died during the Second World War, and that might be true. I actually have no idea, but I'm pretty sure they were on the side of the Nazis. I'm pretty sure I've seen lots of pictures, old pictures. I'm pretty sure I've seen lots of pictures of senior Nazi officials in general. She distracted me a little bit there. With the Palestinian people and Palestinian flags and stuff like that. I'll have to do a bit of research into that because that's quite interesting. But I kind of just took it for granted that the people in Palestine were on the side of Hitler during the Second World War. It was really quite small as well. There was only maybe 70 people or something max, even by the time they stepped off. And I spoke to one of the police officers, and he explained that sometimes they have a couple of hundred people, 200 or 300 people. So I guess this was a smaller protest today. Like I said, I thought it would be bigger than it was in the end. Maybe a lot of people felt turned off by the idea of coming out for a protest on Remembrance Sunday for a cause that's not really anything to do with Remembrance Sunday, if we're completely honest. What was interesting as well is they sort of refashioned the poppy, butchered it even more than the RBL, in my opinion, by putting the Palestinian flag on it. And I just don't agree with that. I think that's the poppy, for us in Britain, is something that's sacred. And, you know, it's one day out of every year. It's 2 minutes of silence. They had their own 2 minutes silence, incidentally, but it's 2 minutes of silence one day every year. Like, surely that's the least that we can do for our war dead, who literally sacrificed their lives for all of Europe and the freedoms that we have had until today. So now, part of the reason that I went as well is because I figured that nobody else would, and I was right. But probably what they figured out is that not many people are going to go. I thought, you know, Birmingham has a high Muslim population, and I thought that the turnout for a pro-Palestine rally would be in the thousands, or at least the hundreds, but not the tens, you know. So I thought more people would come along. But there you go. You can at least now see what happened. I know there was a lot of people posting on Twitter about this Remembrance Sunday rally for Palestine in Birmingham. So at least now you can see pretty much what happened. I left early, so you won't see it all, but enough.